If someone who once saved your life insults you in front of everyone, what do you do? Let me be more specific. You're Alexander, the conqueror of the world. Cleitus, the man who was like a brother to you, suddenly shouts in the middle of the feast that you're a fake king. He raises his right hand with pure arrogance, the same hand that, at the Battle of the Granicus, deflected a sword strike and kept your head from being cut off. And he says, "This hand saved you, Alexander, when you were trembling like a coward." Just imagine it. In front of Greek generals and Persian nobles, in front of history. He's saying you're a coward. He's saying the whole legend of Alexander the Great is a lie. Blood rushes to your eyes. Alcohol steals your judgment. Time feels slower. Your hand clenches into a fist on its own. In this fraction of a second, your real personality is revealed. What's your reaction? Option A, the shadow reaction. I attack. I erase him in front of everyone so no one else ever dares to question my power again. Option B, survival. I say nothing. I stay silent. This celebration isn't worth ruining. Option C, control. I respond firmly, not with violence, not with silence. I speak in a way that makes everyone understand control is still in my hands. You have 5 seconds to choose. Choose your option and remember it until the end of the video. Alexander was placed in this exact situation, and he made a choice that caused all his greatness to collapse in the blink of an eye. First, we analyze your choice. Then, we go to history. If you chose option A, that means you picked up the spear. You faced the dark part of yourself, your shadow. Research shows that about 70% of people in moments of sudden anger lean toward this option. That you're someone who reacts explosively when your values, pride, or status are attacked. That can be a sign of strength, but it's strength that hasn't been refined. You let momentary emotions rule your mind. Alexander chose this option too. Choosing this means your self-worth is intensely dependent on external validation. When that validation gets cut off, like Cleitus's words, your ego feels a threat like death, and it issues the command to attack. You win the argument, but you lose the war with yourself. If you chose option B and stayed silent, you activated the defense mechanism of freeze or fawning. You might think you're being political, patient, and strategic, but in leadership psychology, this is an ancient survival mechanism. Your brain wants to keep you safe, but you pay a heavy price for it. People who choose this option are usually compassionate peacekeepers. But the big danger is this: swallowed anger doesn't disappear. It goes into the basement of your unconscious, and later it shows up as depression. If Alexander had done this, Cleitus might have survived, but Alexander's authority could have been destroyed among the harsh Macedonian soldiers who only understood force. In the ancient world, a king who swallows an insult is a dead king. If you chose option C, congratulations. You're among the rare 10% who carry the mindset of a stoic. Seneca, the great Roman philosopher, said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." You understood that Cleitus's insult is a reflection of his own pain and drunkenness, not your weakness. That's a sign of very high emotional intelligence, EQ. You can create space between the stimulus, the insult, and the response, your reaction. Viktor Frankl said, "In that space lies our freedom and our power." That is exactly what Alexander did not do. This option is the choice of great leaders, those who know real power is self-control, not controlling others. By choosing this, you showed that your self-concept is independent of other people's words. You master your ego, and that means you are the true king of your own mind. Alexander chose option A, and he failed. Not against Persian or Indian armies, but against the demon inside himself. The moment Cleitus was killed, time in the hall stopped. The silence that followed was one of the heaviest silences in history. The man who once saved Alexander's life was gone because of Alexander's rage. In an instant, the drunkenness vanished. He looked at what he had done, and reality collapsed onto him like a landslide. Historical sources say Alexander immediately fell into shock and despair, and in that moment he even tried to end his own life. But his guards rushed in and restrained him. The emperor of the world, the conqueror of Asia, collapsed beside his friend and cried through the night like a child. He realized that in that moment of madness, he didn't just destroy Cleitus. He destroyed a part of his own soul forever. The story of Alexander and Cleitus is our story today. All of us have a Cleitus in our life. A friend, a co-worker, or a family member who tells us a bitter truth, even if they say it the wrong way. And all of us have a spear. A sharp tongue, blocking, firing someone, or cutting someone off. When our ego gets wounded, our instinct, like Alexander, chooses option A, attack. But one history's lesson is this: your most powerful moment isn't the moment you throw the spear, it's the moment you set it down. Alexander the Great conquered the world, but he didn't have one moment of patience, and that one moment turned him into the man who killed his closest friend forever. Next time blood rushes to your eyes, remember, no one, not even Alexander the Great, is big enough to carry the crushing weight of regret for the rest of their life.